Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. As always, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It really helps me keep my small business here on YouTube growing. When the YouTube algorithm sees an increase in subscribers, they promote my content in their little suggested videos section more often, and my channel thrives. Anyway, just as we're now hearing about this Delta variant in COVID news, I bring you the Andromeda Strain, written in '69, adapted to film for the first time in '71, and then again in 2008 as a two-part mini-series. Now, the book is only 290 pages long, and it doesn't waste any time. The 1971 movie is practically a verbatim match. Everything in that movie is in the book. The crashing satellite, the obliterated desert town, the Project Wildfire team, the baby and the town drunk being the only survivors, all the sanitization protocols, the experiments and studies, the fighter jet falling apart midair, the discovery of how the baby and the town drunk survived, and the near self-destruct at the end. The only things left out are first the background on the Scoop satellite project. All 7 satellites, the 7th one of course being the catalyst of this story, since it came crashing down with the Andromeda Strain attached. Also left out are some additional probing by the wildfire team when investigating the deaths in Piedmont. They don't just stop at cutting one guy's wrist and seeing dehydrated blood whispering out. They also take that same victim and open up the femoral artery and then the chest cavity to reveal more solidified blood that is determined to be how these victims died so quickly. Also missing are the strange methods of suicide that some of the more slowly infected victims resorted to. Like one man filling up a bathtub and just dunking his head in like he was bobbing for apples until he drowned. One woman self-immolated, and a teenage boy squeezing an entire tube of craft glue into his mouth to self-suffocate. The microbiologist in Team Wildfire, Dr. Levitt, is changed from a he to a she. Everything else from the movie in '71 is exactly the same, down to the illustrations in the book, such as this one and these, that serve to show as well as tell how their computer systems worked. The 2008 miniseries is a total of 3 hours long. You can't take a book this size and stretch it to 3 hours in 2 parts without adding a few layers of drama and character depth. Again, most everything in the book is in the movie. The crashing satellite, the obliterated desert town, the Project Wildfire team, the baby and the town drunk being the only survivors, all the sanitization protocols, the experiments and studies, and the fighter jet falling apart mid-air, and the discovery of how the baby and the town drunk survived, and the near self-destruct at the end. Same history on the Scoop project is omitted. What is included in 2008 but not '71 is the suicide by fire, and they add a suicide by chainsaw decapitation that was not in the book. Also is only in this movie is the way it opens up. Some high school kids making out in the bed of their truck see Scoop 7 crash land, and they go get it and bring it back to town in Piedmont. Also, there's also some additional drama in Dr. Stone's life. His marriage is falling apart. And to add to that drama, they gender bend the surgeon, Dr. Mark Hall, into Dr. Angela Noyce, who has some unresolved history with Dr. Stone. There's also a troublesome reporter added in, and a spread of the Andromeda strain in the form of discolored plants and water. When the disintegrating jet drops the nuke by accident that's attached to it, just as Team Wildfire discovers that the radiation fuels the Andromeda strain. While in the book and both movies talk at length about high alkalinity and acidity in the body being the common denominator in the immunity of both the town drunk and the baby, it's in this one that they identify colic as what saves the baby. In the book, and in 1971, they discover that increased oxygen by hyperventilating, like in a crying baby or someone having a seizure, is what neutralizes the Andromeda strain. So when it does get out, it amounts to nothing. And that wraps up the Andromeda strain. I hope I didn't lose anyone with all that highly detailed sciencey talk. And while I'm working through some longer books for future episodes, such as Needful Things, I have something to add to the nitpick file for next week. I've been hearing a lot about this disturbing movie Iceberg on YouTube, and I have some thoughts of my own that I'd like to share. So for now, thanks again for watching. Please join me next week for the nitpick file on the disturbing movie Iceberg.